From the campus of Eastern High School in Voorhees, New Jersey, Channel 5 Sports presents South Jersey Group 3 Boys Championship Basketball. Today, the Deptford Spartans take on the Camden Panthers. Hello again, everyone. Rob Christ along with my partner, Sean Leary. An electric atmosphere here at Eastern High School. Group 3 South Jersey Boys Championship game. Deptford visiting Camden. First, let's talk about the Deptford Spartans. This is a team earlier in the year really did not expect to be here. We did them very early here on Channel 5 Sports. In fact, the opener in a loss to Clearview, 4-7 at one point. Coach Bill Hoskins sat down his team, talked about the need for chemistry, made a few changes. They would have never expected to be here, but boy, have they played well lately.
Well, you look at that game early in the season, I think we talked about, it's a really telling game. You want to see how your team's going to be able to respond in a pivotal game early in the season. We saw that Clearview seemed to be the better team at that point. But that's what makes coaching and playing through the season so important. This Deptford team has really improved through the year. They're playing their best basketball right now. They're able to knock off Ocean City, which was a key game early on, and that gave them the confidence. Going into Pemberton gave them no respect whatsoever. They did not think that Deptford had a chance to play. It was all around the school. Who are we going to be playing in the state championship or the South Jersey final? And Deptford showing that teamwork together, playing the game the right way, and buying into Bill Hoskins' systems can propel you to a South Jersey final appearance.
Well, for the Camden Panthers, this is a storied program. You talk about all-time South Jersey greats, Milt Wagner, Billy Thompson, Kevin Walls. This is not the same type of team that we've heard about in terms of Camden lore, but this is a team that every year expects to be here, and that's going to be a big factor.
Well, they've had to hit a couple speed bumps through the season, but this is another team that thinks it's playing its best basketball right now during the season. Camden comes in and they play a very in-your-face aggressive style. They're going to try to create a lot of turnovers. They're going to play an up-tempo style. They're going to go to the basket hard. And this is a type of team that gives you fits. You're not used to seeing that over here at Deptford, with a Deptford team that plays a lot of Tri-County teams. But the athleticism here at Camden is unbelievable. They have so many players that can hurt you in so many different ways.
Well, for the Deptford Spartans, they really needed leadership because they had fallen on hard times. Coach Hoskins went to Anya Green. He says Anya Green has really become that leader both on and off the court.
Well, they were 4-7, and he said, I need a leader. I need somebody to come in here and step up and really take control of this team. Anya Green was the guy who said, listen, I'm going to start taking control, Coach. And you're right, he's done it on and off the court. He's really become an emotional leader for this team. And when he's had to dog out some of his players and say, listen, we need to start playing better, we need to start playing harder in timeouts, he has been the man. Ever since that point, Deptford has started to make a run. They find themselves into this tournament and into this championship game. And I think it's really because of that leadership that they were lacking in Anya Green.
Well, we talked about the Camden history, and many of the players that we spoke of were great offensively. But this is a Camden team that's really predicated on pressure defense and big size in the middle. MacArthur Mason, Big Mac, great shot blocker, great rebounder. He's going to be a factor.
Well, he's the big guy inside, but don't forget that he also has a soft jumper. This is a guy who can go from 15 feet and in and hit it. He can drain that little soft touch. He's got good hands inside, and he's going to be able to try and penetrate, crash to the boards. He's a big guy. He's going to have to negate big Ricky Cruz, but Camden has the guy in MacArthur Mason who can really neutralize a big fella like Cruz.
Well, you talk about neutralizing this Camden team. They love to run, and that's something Deptford's going to have to figure out. How do we solve it? We'll have the answer for you right after this. Welcome back to Eastern High School, about to get underway. Let's first take a look at the starters for the Spartans. Marcus Kersey, the 6-foot senior at guard, along with Anya Green, who we spoke of at the open. Lance Moore, Ricky Cruz, and Nate Boyd round out your starters. Tim Stewart, Gary Simmons, Avery Taylor, Chris Hand, and the Big Mac, Mason MacArthur, for your Camden Panthers. About the jump center here for Deptford, of course, Ricky Cruz and Chris Hand for Camden. We're underway.
And it's Camden basketball. And a bit of confusion there as Avery Taylor almost took it to his own house.
He had an open look, though.
Drives fed inside, knocked away by Cruz. And we're going to have a travel here, so a quick turnover for Camden. And Ricky Cruz really with presence here early.
Yeah, you're going to see him right here, and this is important for him to try and be a shot blocker early on and just alter shots. You know, he's been putting up a lot of numbers, blocking shots, but just the altering of many shots in the playoffs. And if he's able to do that here today a little bit and give Camden something to think about, force him to take jumpers, that'll say a lot for Deptford's chances to win this game.
Nate Boyd puts Deptford up early, 2-0, the first field goal of the afternoon for either team. Cruz inside again, working against the big guy. Wild shot tipped up, and it's going to be Deptford basketball, and they will feed the Spartans Lance Moore.
You're not going to see a better team that goes to the glass than this Camden team. They love to get the offensive boards. It's important for Deptford to box out and crash as soon as that ball goes up.
Well, the first 3 or 4 minutes are going to be a lot of nerves here, a lot at stake. South Jersey Championship Group 3 game. Inside pass in the paint, nothing doing. Rebound for the Spartans.
And that's what I'm talking about, altering the shot there. Cruz on his back. Doesn't get the shot he wants to, it goes off the rim. And if he's able to do that throughout the game, it's really going to open things up for Deptford defensively as he hits the tray from the outside.
Ricky Cruz with the open look, and he knocks it down. Cruz, of course, bound for Mamet. 5-0 start here for the Spartans.
That's one of the things he's really improved on during the offseason is his touch from the outside, dribbling with the ball. A big guy at 6'6", but also has that touch now that you want to see at the next level.
And good talk here as the officials get together. Robert Riley, Lou DeGeorge, and Jim Loper, your officiating crew. And it was DeGeorge who made that call. Riley came over, corrected it. Camden with the basketball. Again inside, and Cruz blocks it. Foul call.
They're going to probably get with the body first, but look at that. Right back into Cruz's, right back into the face.
Well, Cruz took a bite out of Big Mac right there.
Yeah.
MacArthur Mason to the line. Camden, frankly, has had a difficult time all season long at the free throw line. And Mason hoping to correct that trend.
Very important for Camden to hit the foul shots once they get there.
And that rim's in and out tipped, and it's going to be Deptford basketball. And the jailbreak as Kersey pushes it up too strong, followed, no good. Rebound, the Panthers stripped away inside, and again a missed layup. Camden on the transition inside. They're playing physical here early.
Well, this is Camden's style of basketball. They're just going to push, try and be aggressive, get to the rim, try to create some fouls. And that time, they get the call once again. That's 2 fouls down on Deptford.
Avery Taylor gets the shooter's roll.
Avery, a senior, 5'11". Guy who's a physically mature senior who's got some good size at 5'11".
And now you'll see some of that pressure that Camden loves to put on the opposition. Deptford able to break that press, and now they'll look to set up their offense.
Camden fans wanted to walk, did not get the call.
Camden in the zone here. They'll change looks throughout. This is a team that goes about 8 deep, but they are well conditioned, and they will put pressure on throughout the night. Ball on the floor, scramble, and it's going to be Deptford basketball.
And he talked about Camden now sitting in the zone. Camden came out to scout the Middle Township Deptford game on Saturday night. And Middle Township played man throughout, so they didn't get a chance to really look to see how Deptford would play against the zone.
And again inside, Nate Boyd with a second field goal. 7-2. Camden looking for their first field goal, and that's a travel.
Yeah, Boyd, a 6'3" sophomore, started all season long
He was the second leading scorer in JV last year. He's really transitioned his game to the varsity level. Seen trying to break through, one extra step, and then you see Cruz elevate again. Just the altering of shots. This guy can sky. When the lights come on, this is a guy who really steps up his game. He's had some of his biggest games, and he's notorious for this, having big games in playoff type atmosphere type situations.
Boyd, turnaround jump shot rejected. Here comes Camden on the break. 2-on-1. Camden with numbers. Laid up. Tipped, no good. Rebound inside. Again laid up, no good. Cruz tips it up. It's Deptford. So unable to finish was Chris Hand.
You can see how both teams are a little bit intimidated on these easy layups that they're missing on both sides. Both teams playing aggressive.
Cruz posting inside, and we're going to have a charge.
Terrific job that time by Chris Hand. Watch his feet here. Watch Chris Hand, number 11, come into your picture. Right here, he's going to establish his feet, gets a little bump. He just moves laterally. And that's what you want to do playing defense. You can't have your feet stand still. You move laterally, allow that man to charge into you, you draw the offensive call.
4:30 remaining in this first quarter, and Camden still without a field goal. Inside hand, stripped away from Green. Anye Green with the quick hands.
See a little bit of talking right now with Hand and Cruz.
Inside, laid up, no good. Rebound again, it's Cruz. And we're going to have a foul call here against Camden. That will go against the Big Mac. Mason's first foul. And again, Camden will go back to that zone press. Deptford patient, trying to break the press. Goes up the dribble, and now they look to penetrate. Off the glass and in. A running one-hander from Marcus Kersey.
You can see the points inside the paint for both teams are going to be very hard to come by. Nothing's going to come easy.
And the first field goal from Camden, Gary Simmons.
Simmons is sophomore, 6'2". Little acrobatic, soft jumper, gets out to go down, trying to drive to the rim, trying to finish it off. You see Clarence Turner, storied coach here at Camden. Probably one of the toughest coaches to go up against. He really knows the weaknesses and how to exploit them of the team that he faces.
Green now. Forces the shot, knocks it away, and ball will be Camden. 7-5, 3:35 left. There you see Bill Hoskins, what a job he's done this year.
Terrific job, what he's done for the last few years. I was talking with Mark Narducci, one of the reporters for the Philadelphia Inquirer. We talked about Clarence Turner a little bit, and then I mentioned about Bill Hoskins and the job that he's done. You really have to talk about one of the terrific coaches in South Jersey in any sport, and that's Billy Hoskins.
A turnover fest here. 3 turnovers in a row lead to the lay-in from Lance Moore. Nobody seems to want to hold on to the basketball. Jump start, and that's going to be a travel.
Well, right now, the defensive pressure is at a feverish pitch. Both teams pressuring the ball, trying to force the other team into a mistake. And then you have the shot blocking ability of both Cruz and Mason. And that's really been tough on both teams.
Deptford able to break that press, and the press just seems to pick up in intensity. Lay in! Nice move by Nate Boyd. 6 points for Boyd. 11-5 now, Deptford on top.
He doesn't look like your average sophomore, Rob. Number 24, Boyd. He's going to be a good one, and he is already.
Top of the key, looking to penetrate. High arcing shot tipped up and brought down by Cruz. And no foul, they're letting him play. Green will feed, and Deptford will push. Kersey over to Green. Green being marked by Tim Stewart. And that Camden pressure comes all the way out, literally, to half court. Green again getting pressure from Simmons. They go to the high post Cruz. Green Rebound, Camden, outlet pass, nice speed, inside, and a foul committed. As a good foul, because Gary Simmons had an easy lay in there.
Nothing will be free tonight, Rob. You will not be able to get it cheapy. You're going to have to earn every single shot that you get here tonight. It's minute 56. It's an 11-5 lead for Deptford, and every one of these 16 points has been difficult to come by.
Free throw is good.
Pass over. This is playoff basketball. You're not going to get this shot off. I'm going to do whatever I can to make sure that you're getting to the line. You're going to have to earn that from the line.
Gary Simmons, 2 for 2 from the free throw line. Rims it out. Cruz with the rebound. Feeds Green. And here comes Deptford again, working against that zone pressure. Turnover. Green unable to hold on. Laid up and then foul. That's not a good foul by Anya.
Not at all. Not at all. And you know what? He just didn't. We like what he's done being a leader for this team. But that's a play where you really make a mistake on one end and then magnify it on the opposite. He doesn't go after the ball hard. He tries to just grab it with the one hand on the offensive end. Not a terrific pass. You have to be more aggressive than that. You can't just go everything nonchalantly in this game because the team's going to turn it into points at the opposite end.
And that's a situation, too, if you're going to foul someone, you cannot allow him to make the bucket. So you've got to make your foul count. That was kind of a ticky-tack foul.
Right, and it's only 1 point, but I'll tell you what, every point may matter in this game.
Cruz inside, and he's rejected. Chris Hand stops Cruz.
And then he gets in his face a little bit after.
High post, triple team, ripped away. Inside again, handed Cruz, alters the shot and a rebound and a foul here on Camden.
Yeah, on the backside shoulder of Lance Moore. His number 23, Mason, he's going to be called for the foul. Watch Cruz elevate here. Hand up. The block, it's clean. Terrific job by Hand timing that. Going right after the big fella.
Deptford now pushing the basketball. A lot of pressure here. And timeout committed. Hoskins for Deptford. Little step away. 1:01 left. First quarter. South Jersey Group 3 championship. Deptford on top, 11-9. Welcome back to Eastern High School. Timeout by Deptford. We're under a minute left here in this first quarter. Deptford on top, 11-9, and Camden's picked up the pressure. Camden with the steal, laid up and in. Well, Avery Taylor has really picked up his game. 6 points here in the first quarter, and we're tied at 11, the first tie since we were scoreless. And again, another turnover on the ground, and Deptford comes away with it. Cruz now working, high arcing shot, good.
That's just pretty. 6'6", a soft turnaround. As I said, he's really worked on his shooting, and you can see that touch now that he has in his repertoire. You know this guy can play underneath the rim, but now he adds that and becomes a complete player.
Wild shot, knocked away. It's going to be Camden basketball. 14.6 left in this first quarter. Inside, knocked away, Deptford. On the jailbreak, laid up, tip, foul. Lance Moore will head to the free throw line with 8.5 in this first quarter.
I'll tell you what, right now you can see how this game's going and how people are reacting. Hand's playing with a lot of emotion, but he's got to be careful. And he's really getting to his emotions, let it get the better of him. And you're going to see him getting into some trouble with this. Deptford has played so composed. You know, Cruz, he's got a lot of talk in his face. He comes back, he's just blocking shots, playing the game. You get yourself to the rim here. Lance Moore not backing down from anybody. And this is where you don't want to get yourself in trouble. And you can see now Camden may be called for a technical.
Technical foul is the call.
Yep. And you can see it right now. Camden seems like they're a little bit more frustrated than Deptford is. Deptford playing real composed, and they're playing, it seems like, with a little bit more confidence. And it's funny to see. It's almost like a heavyweight fight, Rob, when you see two teams and their reactions of how they are and their demeanor on the court. You have to like Deptford the way they're handling themselves so far early in this game.
Lance Moore, 71% free throw shooter, knocks it down.
Because both teams are playing with the same intensity. However, Camden playing with a little bit more frustration instead of emotion.
So Moore will try to hit the trifecta and increase their lead to 5. No good. And it is, because it's a technical on a player, it's a 2-shot foul, and he misses both. But the critical element also is that Deptford will maintain possession, will have another opportunity to get a shot off. That could have been gigantic. Had he hit those 2 free throws and then another basket, you would have seen quite a turn.
Well, let me tell you something. More importantly than the points, MacArthur Mason's assessed another foul. Now he has 3 fouls.
Open look for 3, air ball, and Camden will have time here. And a whistle blows, traveling.
Traveling call right in front of the Deptford bench.
3.1 left, 15-11 Deptford here.
And he had 2 men streaking out in front of him.
Cruz with the basketball.
And walked there, yep.
And he walked. So down to 1.6. As I mentioned, it's a turnover fest. Camden for 3.
Oh.
Rims out, almost hit it. We'll head to break. Deptford with the 4-point lead in the South Jersey Group 3 championship game.
Yeah, just because when you're...
Welcome back to Eastern High School, start of the second quarter. Camden and Deptford, South Jersey Group 3 championship game.
Out in front, Cruz, no one beneath him or behind him.
Cruz has it knocked away.
Terrific job that time by Tim Stewart to get back on defense. Cruz was the outlet man there, and there was nobody around him.
And Camden able to save it, 15-11. Deptford on top. It's been a crazy game, a lot of turnovers here early, and the 3 is good for Camden's Gary Simmons. He now has 7 points. That is the first 3 this afternoon for the Camden Panthers. First quarter turnovers, an alarming 7 for Camden and 6 for Deptford. Neither coach can be pleased with that. Ricky Cruz, however, has really owned the boards with 6 rebounds, and you can see here the pace is picked up. Another turnover. Anye Green going coast to coast, looks to penetrate inside, up at him.
Nice job by the leader of this team to get back and help on the defensive end and know when he can take his man deep to the basket and extend that lead to 3. Terrific job by Green to help out defensively.
All knocked away. Again, another turnover and a reach-in foul by Gary Simmons. That was Simmons' first foul. High post again, another turnover. It's been so sloppy. Laid up and no good. The layup unable to go. Rims in and out. 3 Panthers converging and finally picking up the garbage and depositing it. Avery Taylor. Taylor with 8.
That's Camden's game. They got a small lineup in there right now. They have Ham that's sitting down right now. He's the one that, Mason's the one that picked up the technical, but both those guys out of the game at this point.
Green, long rebound. Deptford tipped up, scramble. Camden basketball. That's Nate Craig.
Yep.
Craig is coming off an injury. He's been out. 3-point shot, rims out, rebound, Cruz. No, it's Craig. They kick it out, and 3. A wild shot again, and we have a push, and that'll go against Craig.
It's going to be interesting to see how Craig's conditioning works into a game with this tempo. He's a guy that's coming in here, not fresh legs. He's had an injury. One of the starters that was forced to sit. They've had 2 starters actually that are out. one of them being Craig, the other one is Cologne. Now, Cologne is probably one of their best players, if not the best player. Has received a few good looks from big schools, Robin. You know, to have those two type of players sit and to still be able to do what they've done in this playoff tournament really says a lot about the depth of this team and its program.
1760, it's been a battle throughout. Ricky Cruz, Monmouth-bound player, takes the inbound pass. Anya Green dribbles through traffic and throws it away. Camden on the break, their first lead of the game. Avery Taylor puts Camden up off the Green turnover.
Yeah, he came down a little funky on his leg. Might have tweaked something.
Cruz looks to penetrate, he does. I believe we're going to have a blocking foul called here against Camden.
That's Craig, he can't believe it. Watch Cruz forcing it to the rim. That's a good call. That's a good call because Craig was moving there. He's moving to his left. You got to have your feet planted. He did not have his feet planted. Comes over, gets the call. Good job by the officials. I know the Camden contingent here didn't like the call, but it was a good one.
Deptford now has missed their last 3 free throws. They trail by 1. Cruz misses again. Tipped away. Ball to Camden. Lance Moore missed his last 2, and Cruz missing his 2 from the free throw line. We talked about Camden's troubles at the free throw line. Lately, it has been Deptford who has struggled. Again, another turnover.
Yeah, Simmons wasn't even looking for that pass, and Taylor tries to get the pass inside to him to work on Green a little bit.
I am amazed at the number of turnovers here already in this basketball game. We're going to have a foul away from the ball. I believe it's going to be Craig.
Wow,
so Craig comes into the game and commits 2 quick fouls.
3, that's his 3rd.
That is correct, his 3rd foul. I'm corrected.
He's really upset right now. And that's, I mean, you got Mason on the bench with 3 fouls. They're going to bring Hand back in. And Craig, now you got to feel for this kid. He comes in, his injury, he's missed the playoffs and stuff. He comes into the game, he's trying to be physical, and he gets a couple of fouls. And I know the one was a blocking foul. I'm not too sure that one right there was a little bit too ticky-tack.
Cruz hits.
I mean, especially if you're sitting on the side and watching this game, Rob, you got to say, well, they're letting us play a little bit. Then you come into the game and you get a foul like that called on you. I don't blame him for being a little upset with that one.
18 all here in the second quarter, and Ricky Cruz converts.
At least if you're going to,
with 7 now.
If you're going to do that, you got to go to both teams and say, listen, we're going to start calling this a little tighter. It's getting a little bit out of control, and maybe they did do that.
Well, there's certainly a lot of electricity here in this gym at Eastern High School. A lot on the line. South Jersey Championship. Camden's been here so many times. Deptford certainly didn't expect to be here. At one point, 4-7 in the season. Camden working the perimeter, and they look to drive. Tipped away. Camden maintains possession. Packed house here in Voorhees, New Jersey. 4:13 left. It's Deptford 19-18. Stolen, great look inside and a walk.
Yep. Looking around for Mr. Cruz that time. Hands looking around for him to see where he is, and that little hesitation makes him shuffle his feet. He's called for the travel.
And again, the zone pressure put on. They find Cruz, and he is blocked. Blocked. Here comes Camden, and a foul committed by Deptford's Lance Moore.
See, terrific job by Hand. That's going up and attacking Cruz the way he did. That's the 2nd clean block on him, but still not using his head. Forget about the block that you did. Get back down court and play the game. Establish some type of a break instead of worrying about trying to tell Cruz that that's the 2nd time you blocked his shot.
Some of these guys playing so high over the rim, they're being picked up by radar. Gary Simmons.
The Camden coaching staff just pulled him over, and that's what they might be telling him. Say, get back down court. Forget about the block. Terrific job defensively, but you want to get down there and help your teammates out.
So Simmons 4 for 5 from the line. He has 5 points in the second quarter. 9 on the afternoon. 2019, Camden officially the home team here, although it is a neutral site. They lead by 1. Penetration knocked away by hand. Cruz lays it up and in. Finger roll for Ricky Cruz, 21-20. Back and forth we go.
He's fouling it up, but you got to like the way hands come out with his aggressiveness. He's really been a guy who's going to alter some shots inside for Camden. Terrific job that time, fouling up his number 4.
Aaron Walton, the freshman, nice job to pick up the rebound, and again, another sloppy turnover by the Spartans. You know, this is not an old Camden team by any stretch. 2 freshmen, key components of this Panthers squad. Again, another turnover. All by himself is Green, but Boyd doesn't see him. Instead, he turns it over. And now it's Camden, all by themselves. They'll push it inside to the paint, knocked away Cruz. And it's just wild basketball right now.
It is. I mean, both teams playing at an unbelievable pace.
But without discipline, very uncontrolled and sloppy at this point. Anye Green being marked.
You know, another thing is the defense is dictating that also, Rob. This defense by both teams has really been turned up, and that's forcing some of the mistakes. I know what you're saying as far as, you know, they've had a couple of sloppy plays, and that's because you're used to playing at a certain level. It's picked up, and those things that you were able to do early, play seemed like everything was a little bit easier. You got to make sure catching the ball with 2 hands, passing the ball with 2 hands, nothing with 1 hand.
And nobody knew what the deal was. It was a 1-and-1, and Cruz got the rebound. He was denied, and a foul committed inside. And Camden better be careful, or they may pick up another technical foul as Tim Stewart just jumping up and down after the call.
That's what I'm talking about, being composed. Right now, Ricky Cruz is playing a composed game, really paying attention and focused on what's going on out there. You can't be worrying about whether you block 2 or 3 shots from Ricky Cruz. That time, Ricky Cruz beats hand, boxes him out, gets the rebound, and that's what I'm talking about, the composure right now on the side of Deptford and Ricky Cruz, not on the side of the Panthers.
So Ricky Cruz now 3 for 5 from the free throw line. Rims it out. Tied at 22 with 2:30 left in this first half. Camden, Deptford, Rob Christ along with Sean Leary here. Comcast Channel 5. Hand inside, tipped up. No good. Here's Green and the Spartans. Pushing the basketball, looking to penetrate up top. Again, a runner. Off glass, no good. Rebound on the floor, Camden away with it. Camden feeds across the timeline. Camden again.
Good look.
Inside, wild shot, no good. Rebound, Spartans. Big rebound by Nate Boyd. Here's Green now trying to break the pressure. Up top they do. 3 on 2, inside, laid up and in. Lance Moore with his first basket of the second quarter. 24-22. Clarence Turner giving his point guard, Tim Stewart, the offense.
Yeah, I just want to single out Marcus Curry on that play before that, Rob. Terrific job of drawing the defender, making him commit to him. Kersey's able to bring it up and dish it off at the right time to get it to Moore for the easy layup. That's textbook on how you're supposed to run the break.
Deptford in their zone. Feeds the wing, now inside, hand has it ripped away. Anye Green again on the break. Green will look to lay it up and in, no good. Knocked away, and it's going to be Deptford basketball. We may have a foul. No foul called. Well, there looked to be contact, but we've mentioned they're letting them play.
Well, that's why I was talking about earlier with Craig has a case when you get a cheap call, and then you get this one here. I mean, it's close. It's close. No, he might have got him with the body a little bit, but it seemed like at our angle, I saw the same thing you did. It looked like he hit him with the body a little bit more. On that one, it didn't look like he hit him as much with the body.
24-22. Deptford with the basketball and the lead, and another turnover.
They just let another 400 people in here. There you see Billy Hoskins.
Turning up the here he come.
You can see the group that just walked in.
And a one-hander's good. That looked like Taylor. He has 6. Anya Green is checked out of the game.
Perfect save.
A little feed inside, laid up and in.
What great passing by Camden. It started with Taylor.
And 2 quick turnovers.
So you could say, this Camden team, they're so athletic and they create so much for themselves by forcing turnovers, creating easy baskets and layups with their defense, that you think, well, Deptford is playing the style of basketball that you want and should have the lead. And then you have Camden, who you find with the lead just because of the way it plays in that up-tempo style. There you see DeJuan Wagner. DeJuan probably, I'd say he has to be one of the greatest South Jersey basketball players of all time, wouldn't you?
Well, no question about that. His father was pretty darn good, too. His father, of course, played for the Lakers, Milt Wagner. That was probably the greatest Camden team ever when they had Billy Thompson and Milt Wagner, 2 guys that went on to play professionally, 2 guys that just really had that tremendous career at Louisville. And, you know, Clarence Turner was very candid. So this is not a team that really ranks even close to one of my better teams, but this is a Camden basketball program that is so proud and so rich in tradition. I mean, this Camden team would be the best basketball team for a lot of schools in their history.
You got to really feel bad. Nice tip by hand, not able to get it to go. You got to really feel bad for Wagner. He's really dealt with a lot of injuries. Everyone talks about he would be one of the top players in the NBA, and it's really not been able to do that because of the injuries that he has had to him throughout this 3 or 4 years in the NBA.
Foul committed here by Gary Simmons. What I've seen of Gary Simmons today, I've been very impressed. I really like him.
Absolutely. He's brought a spark off the bench, a lot of positive energy, and he's doing a lot of the little things right. He's also getting to the basket and scoring.
Cruz again really struggling at the free throw line. As you see, 3 for 7 from the free strike. Cruz coming into this game just a 56%, or excuse me, 56% from the floor, just 58% from the free throw line. 1 of 2, Camden by 1, 26-25, inside of 10 seconds now for the Panthers. Tim Stewart looking to break down the defense, feeds the wing, penetration inside, wild shot tipped up, and that's the buzzer, and that's the half. It's been a wild half, a good half, and there's going to be more after the break. We head to that break, 26-25, Camden on top. Welcome back to Eastern High School. Second half about to get underway. South Jersey Group 3 championship game. Camden on top, 26-25. Deptford with the basketball. There you see your halftime leaders. Avery Taylor with 12 for Camden. Ricky Cruz, 11 for Deptford. And Cruz picks up right where he left off with the rebound and the follow. 27-26 now, Deptford on top.
Well, that looks way too easy from what we saw in the first half. Everything contested, and you might see a little bit of that in here in the second half. Camden with a little bit of foul trouble.
And it's Deptford who comes away with it. They'll feed the wing. Here comes the Spartans, led by Lance Moore. Moore feeds Green, 3-point shot short. Tipped up, rebound, Panthers.
One of the things that you're seeing from this game, and I really think Deptford needs to think about this, is playing within themselves. Right now they're doing a lot of one-on-one. And that if you're thinking about one thing in this game, it's been a little sloppy, is you're doing a lot of one-on-one. You know, it's pass and then shoot, pass and shoot. If you're able to work the ball around a little bit more, you're going to get a better look.
Rebound inside off the wild shot, knocked away. Ball kicked, body scramble, Deptford basketball.
And that's just great hustle from the Olin Reed transfer. the Paulsboro transfer, Lance Moore. Lance Moore coming into your picture, just hustling in. Might have been kicked off with the Deptford foot. Lance Moore not given the call, though, was Camden.
Cruz baseline slur. Ricky Cruz elevating and gliding. 29-26 Deptford.
Cruz showing his spin move and then the explosion to the rim. You can see he's really worked on his moves down low. The good spin move energizes the gym and his teammates. Let's see how they respond here.
Cruz with another block.
They're playing well defensively, but again, see, it's not a good shot by Green.
Green up top, and again, as you mentioned, they need to get under control. Pull-up jump shot, no good. Rims out, rebound, and that won't be saved in time.
Not even really close. I mean, those shots right there, that's just poor basketball. Coming up, rising up, and Bill Hoskins right now telling his team to think. And that's right, you got to move the ball around, think about what you're doing, and don't force everything.
Again, a wild shot inside, following up, no good. Rebound, Cruz. Cruz with it as Mason had an opportunity, couldn't cash it in.
Cruz is playing so above the rim that it's taking Camden out of its game. They usually crash the boards. They had 16 offensive boards against Timber Creek in a playoff game this year. That's more than what some teams get, 16, on the defensive end.
Well, I tell you what, we were talking about this at the half. You can see Clarence Turner somewhat concerned as he trails by 3, but you know, Ricky Cruz, when we saw him earlier in the year against Clearview, he was a different player. He has really elevated his game here, and I tell you who's got to be pleased with that, it's Monmouth University coaching staff.
Absolutely, they got to be real excited. Dave Calloway not paying attention.
Green off of the steal. Again, so many turnovers, 27 by both teams in that first half, 14 by Deptford, 13 Camden. Tipped up, rebound, and the freshman, Aaron Walton, pulls it down. He outlets to Tim Stewart, who will continue to push the basketball. Shakes, bakes, pushes, travel.
Again, both teams are not playing within themselves, and that's causing the turnovers. The traveling calls are certainly of just sloppy play. Sometimes you're going to see through this game where the team turns it up defensively and you get an errant pass. But when you're traveling that's just a lack of focus.
Feed inside, laid up and in. What a great look there by Moore to feed Marcus Kersey.
We saw earlier in the first half, Kersey feed Moore on a break this time. Moore reciprocates with a terrific bounce pass to his streaking Kersey to the rim, and Deptford regains a 5-point lead coming out here in the second half.
Well, Lance Moore came into this game on fire. That first quarter, scoring 4 points, missing a couple free throws, then had a bucket in the second quarter. But what a great feed as he has the vision to feed Kersey. Kersey deposits his first basket. 31-26, Deptford with a 5-point edge that equals their largest of the afternoon with 4:39 left. I don't think Camden really thought that they would be in this spot at this juncture of the game.
Yeah, they have to be disappointed with the way things have gone. And I think their frustration right now is not being able to finish at the basket. They've missed an abundance of layups, and it started early on with Cruz blocking shots and altering every shot early in the first quarter, and that's really come into play here into the second half. Cruz has been a dominant force.
Cruz again with another block, taking another bite out of the Big Mac. Green penetrates, rims up and in, gets the shooter's roll. Yay, Green with 4 points.
He's the transfer from Olin Reed of Philadelphia. He's only been in the system for a couple of years. Scored 27 against Ocean City in the first round of the playoffs.
Craig with the hook. And you can see Turner says, you know what, we need to go with some size.
Well, Craig is going to give you that size. And the big fella needs to be aggressive underneath and try to negate what Cruz has been doing, intimidating everyone for that Panther team.
Open look, rebound, Spartans trying to dribble through 3 men, a pass inside, and again, Deptford just a little out of control here.
That's okay, though. Everyone's patting ahead of Boyd right now as they come back on the floor because that's an aggression play. You see an open man coming down, you think you're going to be able to hit him with a pass. You're not really frustrated when a guy makes a pass like that and turns the ball over. It was a good look.
Again, inside, working against Cruz, and he alters the shot, and he pulls the rebound away.
Craig's got to go harder in for that rebound. Cruz contesting the shot. Craig should be there for the weak side rebound. He's got the size to be able to do it. Not playing aggressive, you just got to wonder that injury. Playing a little bit of a part. He can't be as aggressive as he usually is, having the 3 fouls as well.
Guarding the middle, wild shot up and in. Herculean effort by Nate Boyd. 35-28, Deptford's largest lead of the afternoon. Running one-hander, and a foul called here, and that'll be the freshman Aaron Walton.
They get a couple good freshmen on this Camden team. Walton's one of them. We've called his name a couple times here. They really expect some big things from him when he goes to camp and just becomes more of a mature player, both physically and mentally. Here's Boyd. This is a guy usually playing the defensive end, brings a lot of energy, comes in, the sensational sophomore gets it to fall, and now Camden trailing by 7, trying to cut more into this lead.
And Walton misses both. Cruz again with the rebound. Green pulls it up, finds a teammate in Moore. Moore stops the dribble, and again it's back to Green.
That's the way you get through the break. You dribble through it, and pass out to the wing, get your offense set up. Moore does a terrific job with Green playing the 2-man game.
Cruz, 3-pointers good.
Doing a little bit of everything. Ricky Cruz.
He can hurt you inside and outside. 38-28, 10-point edge, 3-pointer good.
Terrific stroke.
Avery Taylor's been the man for the Panthers. 38-31.
I can't tell you what a big 3-pointer that was. Just to silence the Deptford crowd a little bit.
This has been one crazy game. It's been a volleyball match, just this one possession. And now a turnover. It literally seems like they're playing hot potato.
Yeah. Well, you know what? The team that cools down, I think, is the one that's going to prevail in this game.
And again a turnover. Inside and the foul. That's a good foul by Lance Moore as he denied Taylor, who would have had the easy lay-in. A minute 55. You can see some of the capacity crowd here on hand. Get some of the fans here doing their Globetrotters impersonation.
Yeah, look at that. Nice.
That is not Curly Neal.
But he's got some moves, too. He's doing a little dance. Good crowd on hand, too, by the way. Into the game, cheering for the teams. A lot of people have come out for this game. It's exciting in this gym.
And another block by Cruz, denying MacArthur. Penetration inside, strong. Rebound on the ground. Pushed inside, thrown up, no good. Tipped up Craig. And a foul again against the Panthers.
They're going to get a push on Camden. And
they're going to go and get some pressure here.
I didn't see that one, but there was a ton of people down underneath the basket. I wasn't able to see it, but it might have been there.
Another turnover here. Deptford's 18th turnover of the afternoon.
And when I said earlier about cooling down, Rob, I think it's on the offensive end. Somebody who just calms down a little bit and is able to get better looks. That's a good look there. Doesn't get it to go, but that's a good look.
3-corner rebound, Camden. Thrown up, no good. Rebound. Coming away with it, Deptford on the ground, and we got a push. That'll go against MacArthur Mason, and that spells trouble.
Well, that's a good call there. Mason with the push here. You're going to see Deptford in control. He goes for the push, trying to play aggressive, and you can't blame him for trying to get after it. That's Camden style.
Well, Mason now with 4 fouls, and interestingly, it's Nate Craig they take out of the game. Perhaps they thought it was Craig that got the foul. So Mason has to watch himself with 4 fouls here with a lot of basketball to play. And a timeout by Hoskins as they may look to try to push the issue with MacArthur Mason. A minute 2 left, 38-31. It's been a turnover fest. Tremendous intensity by both teams, an electric crowd. This is a great facility here at Eastern High School because you have bleachers literally around the circumference of the gym. So
it's a great gym to have. It's a great atmosphere to have a South Jersey final. Eastern has those a la Gloucester Catholic that we have once in a while. We'll have both sides of that basket having people around, and it brings a lot of excitement. Right here, watch this block by Cruz. Watch him time it perfectly and just redirect it back towards the half court, the mid-court area. And we've seen that pretty much all game. We don't have a count on his blocks, but it's countless for the number of altered shots that he's had. Camden has to think there's a lid on the basket, and that's because of what Cruz has done defensively in the middle of that paint. Good defense.
Cruz, 18 points, 7 blocks, and 15 rebounds. That's a yeoman's effort.
That's the kind of stuff that makes you look like a star in South Jersey.
Particularly when you do it against Camden High School. Seems to be an issue on the floor, perhaps a wet spot. And they're going to have someone try to amend that.
See, the ref, it's like, ref is like when you're at home, you just kind of rub some, work it right into the carpet. Yeah. It's kind of like what he's doing. He's working right into the floor.
Is the wife looking?
Yeah.
53.8, 38-31, 7-point edge for the Spartans. They come out in their 2-3 defense. And Walton for 3. Followed up hand, and he just bats it up and finishes. Nicely done, and believe it or not, that's Hand's first basket.
He's got to be thinking, finally, I get an easy look. No one around me, but that's what you need to do. Let Cruz contend and contest and go to the weak side and try to get those offensive rebounds.
27 seconds. We'll see if Deptford tries to hold for the last shot. That's tough to do against a smothering defense. 3-point shot, Green. Green now with 7-5 in this quarter. Laid up and in. Rising and finishing. MacArthur Mason with 4 fouls, and now it's knocked away.
Oh, he should have let it go. He should have let it go. Right now his Camden teammates jumping up. Craig's out of his mind saying he should let it go. It's our ball with 4.5.
So 4.5 seconds here. And Deptford has to ensure that they inbound it cleanly. Otherwise, Camden will have a good opportunity. Green penetrates, shows it up, no good. And we will head to break. Fourth quarter ahead. It's been a great one here at Eastern High School. The South Jersey Group 3 championship game. Deptford on top, 41-35. Welcome back to Eastern High School. Fourth quarter getting underway, and quickly a turnover to start things here, and another turnover. Well, what else is new? Two turnovers in the span of 4 seconds.
Helping the referees make their calls down at that end of the floor.
And a technical foul called against Tim Stewart. We mentioned before that he has to keep his composure, and this time it's going to cost him.
You see the Camden coaching staff taking a look over at the referees, and you're right. You have to compose yourself at this stage of the game. These are points that you cannot give away in the fourth quarter.
Green misses. Well, they're 0 for 3 on technical fouls today from the free throw line.
Well, if they can't convert, I guess it's not going to hurt you.
That's true. (42-35).
Again, staying cool. The team who stays cool will come out with a victory. Will be South Jersey champions.
Over and back by Green. Again, another turnover.
The focus, it just isn't there for either team. Both teams making mistakes mentally and physically.
Just inside this fourth quarter, Rob Christ along with Sean Leary, Group 3 South Jersey Finals. Deptford, no one expected them to be there. Camden.
No one expected Deptford. You're right. No one expected Deptford to be here, and I think you're right, Rob. I think Camden, though, is a different story. Camden, a little bit of a different story. I thought I was going to have Aaron Walton come sit right in my lap.
You almost were part of the Waltons. Ricky Cruz with the basketball here, and Camden's defensive pressure has picked up.
Might have missed an over and back ball. I'm sorry, Rob. Might have missed an over and back ball on that last one.
Green with a long three.
Anye raining threes here. Extends the lead to double digits.
He dialed 9 on that. It was long distance. Inside and a foul. 10-point edge for the Spartans. So Camden will inbound. Here's Walton. Walton looks inside and throws it away. Again, another turnover. Lance Moore with the basketball. He'll feed Anye Green, who's feeling it, and that's a wild one. Boyd has it rejected.
Anye's been terrific here late with a couple of threes, but you got to know when to reel it in.
Stewart shakes, bakes.
Camden needs a basket.
Inside low post, ball's on the ground, struggle ensues, and a foul committed. And this is going against Camden.
What does he call? I'd like to know what that call is there. Let's take a look at this one. Wow.
I did not see that from over here.
Hand through a right cross. Now, why isn't he should be ejected right now from this game. He should not be playing in the game no longer. If that would have connected, this gym would have went nuts. Right now, the kid should be ejected from the game. And the Camden coaching staff has to get into the ear of his player and say, listen, you have to calm down. This is a South Jersey final. We're down by 10. We cannot afford to have any more points given to Deptford.
You know, that's disappointing to see. This is a Camden team that has really fought through adversity throughout the year to be where they are today. And you've seen elements of them losing their composure, and they can ill afford to lose that composure at this juncture. 45-35, still a lot of basketball, 6:52 left. And I'm surprised they don't call it at least a technical foul.
Absolute. That was a straight right that he was throwing at the Deptford player. And that's just getting the frustration because the guy's trying to battle you with the ball. That's the element of sports, man. You have to be able to take it. That's a walk that they missed there.
Ricky Cruz knocked up, tipped, scramble ensues. Again, another turnover. 10-point edge. Here comes the Panthers. Turnaround jump shot. MacArthur rimmed out, tipped up, inside. Cruz rejects.
And you can see why they'd be frustrated. They just can't get the ball to fall for Camden. It just seems like there's a lid on their basket, and Ricky Cruz is swatting everything else. Anye Green has taken over.
13-point lead, Deptford, their biggest of the afternoon. And a blocking foul called here against Deptford's Dan Payne.
Payne's a little fellow who's come in, had the pass around his back that set up the game-winning shot for Deptford to get him to this game against Pemberton.
Working perimeter, open three, strong, tipped up, Walton. Scramble ensues, on the floor, hand, feeds. And again, no good. Inside, a battle ensues, and finally a foul committed as Avery Taylor just would not be denied.
They just have to, right now Camden just has to be wondering what's going on. You know, we're getting some good looks right now. We just cannot get the ball to fall.
throw line. Rolls good.
And this is the way you do it.
Taylor.
I'm sorry, Rob. This is the way you do it. When you're really struggling in shooting, you need somebody to try to get to the line, do whatever it takes to get to the line, get a couple of easy ones, get on it defensively, try to set up that pressure defense and force Deptford into a few mistakes.
Those are the first 2 points for Camden. Here comes Payne across the timeline. Payne picks up the dribble, feeds.
One thing Payne will give you is ball handling.
And again, Green with another turnover. So Green, an inconsistent quarter here, has hit a couple of threes, has turned the ball over as well, and a couple wild shots. And they may have missed one there. Inside again, Payne called for the foul. That'll go against Mason. So Mason is 1 for 2 from the free throw line, 4 points to the free throw line here to try to draw this Camden team to within 10. He does.
Nice stroke at the line that time by Mason. Talked about him in the open. This has got to be just a frustrating game for him. The guy who's been able to really light up 36 against Highland, 26 against Timber Creek. And because of the element of Cruz down underneath has really altered his game, altered his shots, has denied Mason, has denied Hand inside from doing what they do, usually crashing the boards and getting easy baskets.
So Ricky Cruz, who's had his struggle at the free throw line this afternoon, will head there once again.
And don't overlook what Bill Hoskins has done to put his team in a position now to go back up double digits. A terrific game plan coming in, making sure that they're able to box out, get the rebounds, and more importantly, limit your mistakes. They've made a ton of them, but they've been able to recover.
Cruz working on a triple-double, and he's found his stroke. 50-39, 5:10 left. Fourth quarter, South Jersey Group 3 championship game. Rob Christ along with Sean Leary here at Eastern High School, the neutral site for this South Jersey championship game. And the pace is slowed down as this fourth quarter now just 3 minutes in. To the free throw line, Gary Simmons, who's been quiet in the second half. He's had 11 points, all coming in the first half. And Simmons hits the second. 5 points in this fourth quarter for Camden, all of them coming from the free throw line. Payne feeds Cruz. Cruz on the break, inside and a block. Foul here, and that's going to be Hand.
Say Hand is not back down from Ricky Cruz whatsoever. Already a couple of blocks. This time he gets him on the wrist, slaps him on the wrist, forces Cruz to go to the line. But again, we haven't seen too many easy baskets here. Both teams playing with a lot of aggression. And that's continued here into the fourth quarter. Now it's up to Deptford to make its free throws and hold this extensive lead to 2 minutes.
I can't say enough about Ricky Cruz. Not only the game that he's played this afternoon, but he's now found his stroke at a critical time. The fourth quarter, increasing that lead to 12. 3-point shot, too strong, rebound Deptford. Camden may be coming a bit unglued here. Anye Green across the timeline. Green shakes, bakes, pulls up. Boyd feeds Cruz. Low post, turnaround. Too strong, tipped up. Again laid in, left-hander Cruz. 54-40, 4:21 left. Camden, no room to operate. Nice
what a
little pass inside. Great pass, and Mason finishes.
Wow. Gary Simmons. Gary Simmons, what a game he's had. Look at this one-man effort And then to finish by a terrific pass. Well, that's just wrap-around pass. Outstanding pass. You're not going to get any better at the high school level there of breaking down a man, having the defenders come to you, and then the wrap-around pass.
There you see Clarence Turner, very reserved, composed, trailing by 12, 4:09 left here in the South Jersey Group 3 championship game. And, you know, I think Deptford has had the luxury, if you will, of having teams take them for granted the past few games. And they have come up big each and every time. That says a lot about the character of this team and the coaching of Bill Hoskins.
Outstanding job, and you can see the job he's done after halftime. You really can see what a coach can do after halftime and the adjustments that he'll make. And it really is in favor of Deptford. Bill Hoskins, one of probably the more underrated coaches in South Jersey, should be getting his respect after what could be a South Jersey title for the 12-year head coach at Deptford.
Kersey with the easy breakaway points. Another nice pass inside. Great feed there by Simmons. He's an assist machine. Mason again with the bucket. I tell you what, Gary Simmons has been phenomenal this afternoon.
He's been the best player on the floor for Camden, coming off the bench. Brought a lot of energy.
Payne feeds. Boyd looks to penetrate, pulls it up. Turnaround jump shot off glass, no good.
That's a bad possession. That's a bad possession by Boyd. He's a sophomore. Right now, Anya Green's telling him to come over here and talking to him a little bit. And that's the leader. Pats him on the head a little bit, tells him what he's doing wrong. And that's what was missing from this team in the first 11 games. They were 4-7. They didn't have the leader on the team. Anya Green spoke out and said, I'm going to be the leader. And this is the type of stuff he's trying to prevent from his teammates. One-man effort in the last 3.5 minutes, and then you get the over and back. You stop the clock and put Camden at the line. Not something you want to have late in the game.
Rims out, rebound.
But you got to give the Sop a little leeway. He's learning too out there. He's played a very aggressive game. Boyd has been terrific. A side kick underneath to Cruz.
Boyd, high post, finds Green. And we're going to have a charge. Wow.
But I'll tell you what, everyone doesn't think it's a good call for the Deptford side, but the one thing, I don't know if it's a good call or not, but the one thing that the Camden defender was able to do was sell it. He kind of jumped back and sold it good enough to convince the referee to call the offensive charge.
That's a great point. And look at Ricky Cruz. Camden steals it from Cruz. Penetration, Simmons blocked by Cruz. And again, look at Cruz alter that shot.
It's just changed. What it's doing, people, is it's changing the shot of the shoot. This is a guy that's used to getting the shot up. Okay, Walton, a freshman. He's used to just banking this off the rim. He's got good ups. He's got a terrific left hand. But what he's been doing throughout the year with that left hand off the glass is now changed. And it's because Ricky Cruz is altering that shot. He's probably done that so many times this year, a little kiss with the left-hander, and it's gone down from all season long until you get to a South Jersey title game where you face the big Cruz, and he's going to make you alter that shot.
Well, Taylor found himself up in the air with nowhere to go, and now a hand fouls, and he is out of the game with his 5th foul.
Well, I mean, this is a kid who came with a lot of aggression. And he wanted this game. He wanted this game desperately. He wanted the South Jersey title. But he should have been out of the game earlier. And plain and simple. Early on, he should have been out of this game when he tried to throw that punch.
Marcus Kersey will head to the free throw line. 56-44, 2:44 left. Hand, again, fouls out of the basketball game. Checking in will be Craig.
That being said, I mean, Hand came to play in this game. He really put out the effort. And I don't know if that's a foul. He might have had a good gripe. Might have got a little bit of a piece. At that stage, I don't know if you make the call there. But again, Hand should have been out when he threw the punch.
Well, Deptford missing free throws here. Tipped up, no good. Rebound, Craig, finishes good. So Craig with 4 points draws Camden to within 10, 2:31 remaining. Camden calls timeout. We'll step away. We're here at Eastern High School, South Jersey, Group 3 championship game, 56-46 Deptford. Welcome back, 2:30 left remaining in this game. Deptford surprisingly on top by 10. No one expected the Spartans to be here, and they certainly didn't expect the Spartans to lead Camden here late in the fourth quarter. Eating up some clock. Here's Moore. Moore looking to penetrate, and he's going to, again, eat up more clock. Draws 2 defenders and feeds Boyd. High post Cruz.
And how big is Cruz here? And no pun intended, but how big is he here of having a guy who's 6'6", Rob, 6'7", that you could throw it above that free throw line and be able to kick it back out. It's so important when you try to control the clock.
Just 4 for 9 free throw shooting here. Now 4 for 10 free throw shooting in this fourth quarter. That has to be a concern for Coach Hoskins of Deptford. 1 of 2. As a team, Deptford shot 64% on the season from the free strike. High arcing three-pointer, no good, tipped up. Walton. Hop step, throws it up again, tipped away. Walton inside and a foul. Well, Ricky Cruz with 9 blocks, 1 away from a triple-double. 57-46, and Camden will head to the free strike. Aaron Walton 0 for 2 from the free throw line, both attempts coming in the third quarter. Walton hits. Draws Camden to within 10 with 1:46. Pressure put on as Green looks to inbound. And he finds his man in Lance Moore. Moore pulls it back out, and he'll look to eat up some clock. Finds Anye Green. Green back to Moore. And again, a lot of pressure as they converge on the ball. Up top again, Green comes away with it. Green looks to penetrate, feeds inside, laid up and in. Nice look, and Marcus Kersey with his third field goal, 59-48.
That's exactly what you wanted. Work the ball around, eat some clock, and then finish.
And again, it's Cruz with the block. Cruz with the triple-double now.
The Deptford Spartans a minute 10 from winning its first South Jersey title in the history of the program. Largely in part from that man, Ricky Cruz.
Long three-pointer, no good. Here comes Deptford. Anye Green now. Green with the basketball will pull it out and try to eat up clock. Walton with the foul. 58.5 left. And Camden right now has to be in shock. You know, during the pregame, Clarence Turner said, if Deptford shoots the ball the way I've seen him, we're going to win this game easily. Well, Deptford hasn't necessarily shot well, but Deptford's going to go home with a victory as it stands.
You're absolutely right. And, you know, he saw him in a game where they weren't able to really connect from the outside, but not really thinking about how Ricky Cruz can dominate a game. We've seen him in big games against Shalleck and Paul Gauze in the Tri-County Conference game. Most people going into the gym to see Paul Gauze play. Well, Ricky Cruz, it was his coming out game where everyone started to take notice of the big guy.
Three-point shot, short, rebound Walton. Walton feeds, and again, it's Taylor. Taylor inside Mason, and a foul committed. They're calling a charge.
Yeah, that's his frustration there. He's going to try to extend that left hand.
And that's going to do it for Big Mac.
you got to really give credit to Cruz. I mean, he has put down the big men of Camden. These are guys that are used to getting everything easy for them underneath, and it just hasn't happened for them today. Craig is a guy who's a starter who isn't able to play. Cologne, another starter, probably the best player, wasn't able to play. But they have guys that have really contributed to their playoff run. They do have some depth there. They lost a little bit. They lost a little bit with the injuries.
Anye Green now looking to go across the timeline. He does. Dribbling through traffic. Green maintaining possession here. Just eating up clock. Green stolen away. Tip back. Laid up and in.
Billy Hoskins, a kid from Clearview, 12 years ago, came to Deptford High as the coach, is going to give Deptford its first South Jersey title in the history of the storied program, a terrific athletic program. They've done it in football, and they've now done it in boys basketball.
Deptford High School, your South Jersey Group 3 champions, victorious by the score of 60-50. A Cinderella story. Deptford not expected to win this game, not expected to perhaps be a contender. 4-7 at one point. They've turned it around and they wear the crown. Deptford High School victorious, 60-50, your South Jersey Group 3 champions.
Welcome back to Voorhees, New Jersey, the campus of Eastern High School. South Jersey Group 3 championship game. Deptford victorious 60-50 over Camden. Here with the winning head coach. And coach, it's been quite a season for you, a lot of ups and downs. 4-7 record. You probably didn't dream in your wildest dreams that you would be saying that we're Deptford High School, South Jersey Group 3 champions. How does that sound?
Sounds very good, real good. I can't even talk right now.
You know, it's again a game that was really hard fought and throughout the contest. Ricky Cruz playing out of his mind, but what I really saw from your team was a tremendous amount of resiliency. Just tenacious, would not back down to a Camden team that played great defense throughout. Despite a number of turnovers, your team really kept their composure.
That's true. These guys won't back down to anybody. When after we won the semifinal, they said there's no better team to play than Camden if you're going to win South Jersey, and they came out with that attitude and took it right to them from the start.
You know, in our pregame talk, you seemed very confident going in. You knew that there were certain things that you needed to accomplish, and despite that, I got a sense of a tremendous amount of confidence. You mentioned before that you're really playing your best basketball right now. What do you attribute that to?
These guys finally realizing how much they count on each other and using each other on the court. Once they started doing that, it's really hard to stop our top 3 guys.
You jump out to a 5-0 lead. You really had to feel good about that, really kind of getting the pressure off of you initially.
Right, and once you do that, then your confidence continues to roll, and that's big with us. We play with confidence. We're very tough to beat.
The second half, it was a tight game, but, you know, again, at halftime, yeah, make adjustments as a coach. You guys really outplayed them in that third quarter. It was a critical quarter. You know, what did you say to your team, and what adjustments did you make?
2 major adjustments we needed. We needed to keep our composure against their pressure and make sure Anya kept pulling back against the double teams when it came and get the ball to the middle. And he did an excellent job with that in the second half. And we also had to stop their penetration. Our 3 main keys were stop their penetration, handle the pressure, and control the glass. And once we did that, things went to our favor. Yeah,
despite the pressure, I think you guys did a nice job against it. You had quite a few turnovers early. That had to be a concern. I don't think that, given the number of turnovers that you had, you would think that you would have been victorious.
I don't know what we ended with. I think we had 15 at halftime. And that was one of our focal points to make sure we protected the ball a little better in the second half.
Well, I know that you have to go. You're going on to see your opponent in the state semifinals. You've done a tremendous job this year. You know, arguably many people's coach of the year. I wish you the best of luck.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Well, our own Sean Leary is with some of the stars of today's game.
Yeah, I'm here
with the 2 transfers that helped facilitate this championship for Deptford, joined by Lance Moore. And Lance, you got to feel tremendous about the accomplishment of being the first Deptford team ever to win a South Jersey title. Just tell me about the emotions of this win.
It's a lot of emotions going through my head right now, but it's kind of hard to enjoy the victory after what had happened there. First off, he's the biggest person on our team, and he was going up against all they big guys. He was dominating on the boards, putbacks, and everything came to the hole. He was killing it.
Now, has it really sunk in yet that you're the first Deptford team to win a South Jersey title? The smile, I know you could say, but has it really sunk in yet?
Not yet. I don't think so.
Where do you think your chances is now going to state? This team is playing as good as it has all year long.
I don't really know. We just got to take one step at a time, and whoever we face, go at them as hard as we can.
Well, congratulations to you, and best of luck in the state semis. Now I'm also joined by Anya Green. We start calling you Entree. You were hitting the triple tonight, especially at the end of the game. You were throwing rainbows, and they were sinking. How important was that second half for you to help out Ricky as far as being a secondary scorer? And, you know, they were concentrating the inside, but you were starting to push from the outside.
It was real important because everybody was worried about him in the post, and they was leaving me open, so I was just knocking them down.
How crucial was Ricky's play in this game? Because you knew about coming in. I know your coach is telling you, make sure you get on the defensive boards. Even little guys come and help out because of the way they put pressure there.
Like, it was real crucial because, man, they're a good team. I mean, they all rebound. Everybody crashed in their team, and we just had to box out and go get the boards. And we did. That's what we did. We stopped them and everything.
Just tell me how it feels to be a South Jersey champ, the first Deptford champions ever.
Oh, it feels real good. We made history, but can't really enjoy it because Ricky Cruz. He should be right here right now talking, but a little incident happened. But we're gonna get over it. Then we're gonna really enjoy it when we go to school tomorrow.
I'm sure you guys will enjoy it, and best of luck to you. Congratulations, Anya Green, on a terrific night and really capitalized late in the game, Rob. I thought when you had Ricky Cruz doing what he was doing on the inside, Anya was a guy who stepped up not only as a leader, sometimes cooling his players down, but also hit a couple of big threes in that second half.
No question about it. And again, what that gave his team was a tremendous amount of adrenaline, and it really electrified the crowd. And you could see that the players really fed off of that crowd. What a tremendous job by this Deptford team.
The job that Ricky Cruz did in one-man show tonight, he was outstanding. I'm not saying the role players for Deptford didn't have a part in this one, because they absolutely did. But you're right, that was one of the most dominating performances that you're going to see in South Jersey and in the Tri-County Conference from one of the teams there.
Well, Deptford goes on to the state semifinals. They'll face the winner of Hamilton West and Monroe. In fact, the coaches are on their way now to scout that game. We'll keep an eye on that. Again, a classic here on Channel 5 as Deptford is crowned the South Jersey Group 3 champions. Final score, Deptford 60, Camden 50. For my partner, Sean Leary, my director, Stan Ritter, all of the crew, I'm Rob Christ. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us once again. Deptford, your state champion of Group 3 basketball. Good night, everybody.